Live from their studio in South Florida, Twist Gaming. Featuring lead broadcaster, Matt Koza. Co-host and creative genius, Josh Perry. Co-host and interviewer extraordinaire, Ann Lazito. Co-host and marketing mogul, Aaron Murphy. With appearances from special guest, Lucy. Welcome to Twist Gaming, where you get to play board games with us.
Good evening, everyone. This is Twist Gaming. As usual, I'm Matt.
I'm Ann.
And this is our first impression session of our Spotlight stream, where we talk about our first impressions of the game we just had a chance to show off. And tonight, that was Street Fighter Exceed by Level 99 Games. Big shout out, first and foremost, to Chris for joining on with us, giving us the background deets and teaching us the ways of the Dan. I mean, that's an important thing. And shout out to them as well for sponsoring this stream and all of this week's streams. So I'm going to throw the link in chat for everyone watching right now. If you want some more information
about the game,
you
can follow the link here in chat. If you were looking at this on the recording, go ahead and type that link into your address bar and find out more information about the game.
So first and foremost, what kind of game is Street Fighter Exceed?
That's a Josh question.
It is a Josh question. I'm going to do my best because he's much better at this than I am. But it is a head-to-head card game using the Exceed engine.
Yeah.
So the Exceed engine's been around for a little bit now. Street Fighter, it lends itself very nicely to the style of gameplay. And it's pretty simply we're beating each other up and trying to reduce each other's hit points down to 0.
Yeah, Level 99 is all about bringing that video game feel to the tabletop. So they're bringing the Street Fighter arcade game to the analog world.
Absolutely. So I'm going to switch over to the board cam here just so we get an idea of what we're looking at. And the first part of the first impression session is, well, what are your favorite aspects about the game? What stood out to you based on the first time that you played it, or in this case, the first 3 times that we got a chance to play through? It is a 15-minute game. Our playthroughs run a little bit longer than that, but we were able to get 3 sessions in this evening. So, Ann, I'm going to throw it to you first. What stuff did you really enjoy about the game?
Everybody is talking about the mat.
This mat?
No, not
that mat.
That mat.
Yeah, no, in all honesty, yeah, it's an absolutely beautiful play mat.
So they did a woven, and I want to say it's neoprene inside mat, and it's a essential component for the game, and it is of a very high quality, which is nice when you're playing a game like this. You know, a lot of card games come with optional layout mats to tell you where everything is supposed to go. But I think it's important. You do a lot of movement in the center track row, so I think and the life counters. I think the placement is really important, and it brings really nice table presence.
Oh yeah, no,
because
it's
of the
gorgeous.
High quality of the mat, with it being woven, that was really nice too. It looks like it's high quality and very well done.
And it definitely brings, again, the feel of the arcade style up there with the graphic design on it.
Oh yeah.
I actually really enjoyed the video gaminess, if you will, arcadiness that this game has, with the side-scrolling movement back and forth. I thought that was really cool. Your gauge effectively being your power-up meter, where when you land successful combos, you're stacking that up so you can unleash a cooler combo or your ultra moves, stuff like that.
Right.
The health bar being an actual green to red health bar. It's just little things. The graphic design went a long way with it, but the game definitely has an arcadey feel to it that I did enjoy.
One of the other things that I really liked about the game, on the back of the boxes, so the game comes with a bunch of different players there, and I think it said there was 13 out right now, and they're planning on releasing even more. If each of the characters' decks have different strengths and weaknesses, and I like that on the back they took the time to really kind of spell out for you what each deck is. So it's not a guessing game.
So yeah, they give you some flavor about the actual characters, but you get a breakdown of I want to play someone that's fast, so I'm going to not pick this character, she's slow. Or maybe I want to play someone that's got a lot of different techniques, so that way I want to try to be really super strategic about how I'm doing it.
Right.
And the characters did play very different from each other based off of what we were doing. And that's very evident based off of just going from our first round to our second round. So Ken and Ryu tend to be, it seems like they were a little bit more well-rounded characters. I was playing as Zangief in the first round, where all of my abilities were like range 1.
Right.
So I had to be right next to you.
Right. But high-powered.
And slow.
Yeah.
Then the next round I jumped to Chun-Li, who is all about keeping away, staying at a distance.
And increasing range.
Right. And I thought that was interesting because, Chun-Li is about the kicks, and traditionally martial arts-wise, that's to keep distance away. I thought that was really cool, and it brought like a flavor of the characters to the actual mechanisms of the game, which, it worked quite well, I think. Yeah. Anything else, Ann?
The art is really nice. You see Street Fighter in different kinds of art styles, and this is a really nice, consistent, aesthetically appeasing art style. And it even goes for the boxes.
Yeah, it's very, very pretty looking. And I forgot the most important thing.
What was the most important? Oh, jeez.
The Dan.
He really is you.
It was hilarious. I really do thank chat for pushing me to
do the Dan?
Embrace the Dan-ness.
This is so good. That was a lot of fun.
Jumping into it a little bit more, we're going to get into the constructive criticism. So based off of our first impressions of the game, things we might not necessarily have been fans of, we would change given the opportunity. I'm going to stick with you on this one because I'm going to try to build off of what you have to say. Because I can't think of anything off the top of my head right now. So I'm throwing the ball in your court.
That works. This game, I got shut out 3 times, and that's no fun when you're playing a game. So that's just one of the things we like to do at Twist Gaming is to be honest, and that's just honest.
Would you say this isn't necessarily your favorite style of game too, or is it just that you weren't a fan of the mechanisms to it?
I got really frustrated with the speed, constantly getting beat out for the speed and then stunned, which made me feel very shut out. So I don't know if it's necessarily playing a head-to-head game because I really like Gruff.
Okay.
So I don't think it's necessarily that it's a card game as much as just being shut out. So, and I don't know if that's maybe me playing the wrong characters.
And again, like we said, this is based off of our first impression. So you did play as 2 characters this evening instead of 3.
Right, Ken and Akuma.
And Akuma is, as Chris and one of the viewers in chat was saying, an extraordinarily difficult character to play with because it's very much high risk, high reward.
Yeah.
And it's really boom or bust. So it's all about potentially sacrificing yourself, but understandably so. I had a high speed character with high range that I was playing up against, so I think it was also a bad matchup. I think Akuma against Zangief maybe might have gone much better in your favor.
Maybe.
But at the same time, that's not hearsay, but I don't know if that's the case right now. But Ken, I think, suited you a little bit more.
I definitely think that the last match was a little closer. I didn't feel as so far away. Yeah, it's with any card game like this, when you have different factions of any sort, sometimes game designers have. I understand that it is a challenge, and challenge may not be the right word, right? So with any game. How do I want to word this? Look at me. See me? Now I'm getting into... I understand with any game that it is a challenge for a game to be balanced. But, especially in a game with different factions or asymmetrical player powers. But I also do realize that in a game, games aren't always supposed to be completely balanced. Because then you don't have the fun that comes with the strategy.
The rock, paper, scissors element to it.
Essentially. So does that make sense? I think that in knowing how to match up the right characters adds to the kind of
the enjoyment factor of the game.
Right. And I get, if I learn more about the attacks and the strategies, it's great. But Matt and I both picked up the deck the first time, and I got shut out 3 times in a row.
Yeah.
And it's not enjoyable when you're playing a game to feel that way. So it could have been bad matches, right? It could have been me not realizing what was going on. I would have appreciated a catch-up mechanism of some sort, but maybe to offset that, then that goes to the school of thought where games aren't supposed to be completely balanced, because then it's up to luck and not up to player strategy.
Right.
So I get that, but nonetheless, I mean, when you're at 25 and I'm at 2, it's not fun anymore.
I get it. I understand where you're coming from. And again, like you were saying, it might be bad matchups. The nice thing is that this game has so many different characters, not just in the Street Fighter ones as well, that you can mix and
Right.
match with the other Exceed editions, which I think is really, really cool. And potentially find a niche of your own within that.
Right.
Just because there's very different play styles from the 3 characters that I tried out.
Yeah.
So that's, grain of salt there. From my end, I see what you're saying about a potential catch-up mechanic.
But I mean, you had a very different experience than me in this game.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to hear your opinion.
So I get what you're saying with the catch-up mechanic, and I think that I'm not a big Street Fighter aficionado, if you will, but I know that a lot of
But you have the gi.
I know that a lot of these arcadey style games is that when you get damaged, your gauge might increase, or whatever that meter is called, might increase to help you kind of increase your ability to do a harder level attack, which kind of serves as a catch-up mechanism.
Totally. And during the last fight, and look, I'm going to say his real name, and it's going to be the wrong real name, and I'm going to apologize profusely for it, but I'm really trying to appreciate the fact that you're here and respect you for that, and I think his name is it's not Matt. Maybe it's Matt.
I'm Matt.
No, Mike, Matt, shoot. Hey, you dude.
Hey, you dude. Anyways.
Is here with us, and he's talking, you're talking about how, maybe I would have appreciated different defensive characters, and I totally get that, and I totally respect that, and I totally appreciate that. And then, you guys are talking about having friends that are just kind of in my camp, and all games aren't for all people. Right?
That's true. No, 100%. I'm thinking back to Super Smash Brothers, and I'm going to build off of a couple comments with that. With how the catch-up mechanism in Super Smash Brothers is you launch your ultimate attack, you can get it from beating people up and getting beat up. So, like,
I had a part where in the last round where I had 3 in my gauge and no cards to do anything ultimate with it.
yeah.
And that was really frustrating too, because then it's like, man, that was the round where you and I were so close.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have felt like if I had been able to do something with that gauge, it had given me a little bit more
Fair enough.
something to do with it. So I kind of felt stuck a little there too. I felt stuck a lot with the speed. The fact that every time I went to go and do, like, I had 1 or 2 really good plays that if they had gone through, I feel would have really helped me out. I played the EX cards combinations twice.
Oh, yeah. I actually never did that.
Right. And
Yeah.
so I thought, man, I've got these 2 EX combinations. I'm sure this is going to be really great, and it's definitely going to get through because it's so hard to get 2 of the same card
Did
in
I
your
mitigate both of them?
5-card hand. You
Oof.
mitigated both of them. So that's a little frustrating too. Like, I know you're talking about strategy and all of that, but man, if I get 2 Hadoukens in my hand and I play it as an EX, and I think I had a bonus, I could be wrong, but I thought I had a bonus out there too, and then that gets mitigated by a single card in a strike, it's like that's a lot of luck and everything to put all those cards together.
But it was because of the Dan.
Oh my God, I
really.
hate
That's the reason.
Oh,
No, I get what you're saying. The other thing that I wanted to touch on with
Also, I don't mean to be bashing the game, and I really hope I'm not coming across as that. I'm really honestly, and I totally cut you off too. So, but
no, go for it.
I love you. It's important for me to be honest about how I feel, and I hope that I am providing you with an intelligent and well-spoken, honest opinion. But I hope that I'm not. I don't mean to sit here and bash. I mean to come here and be very honest and very well-spoken, well thought out. That I'm explaining how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I appreciate it. Later.
The one thing I wanted to jump back to when I was referencing Super Smash Brothers is that, like, I feel I pick a main and, like, I play as that character 90% of the time when I play it. So it might be one of those things where people have a tendency, I think someone in chat was saying, you just latch on to one character and you kind of like don't even want to bother playing the other ones because you love that one character. And, you know, if you started out playing Super Smash Brothers as Ness, you'd probably be upset too.
I mean, well, that's what I appreciated about on the back of the cards is that that you guys made the attempt to explain the play style of each of the decks. So I think maybe if we were off stream and I had the time to, there's the other thing is that part of our playthroughs, I come to the table knowing nothing about the game, so I don't get the chance or much of an opportunity to sit here and be like, okay, which one of these decks match my playstyle? I get like, all right, let's grab a deck and
let's do it.
See what happens.
Throw something at a wall and see if it sticks.
Right, and that's why I played Akuma. Like, I know you guys, like, he's the most difficult person, and that's a position that I'm bound and determined to get into, is finding the most difficult one, because I'm just grabbing stuff and seeing what happens.
Yeah.
But maybe if I found somebody with more speed, like if I felt I could break through more, that would be a more rewarding experience for me.
So that's all the constructive criticism I have. Is there anything else that you wanted to touch on?
Get this awesome key.
Thank you. With that, we're going to go into the final question of the evening, the most important question of the evening, and that is, if given the opportunity, would you play this game again? So, Anne?
I would have to sit down and really find a deck that better fit me. I'm feeling real salty right now because you just shut me out 3 times and I hate you. So I don't think I would play with you ever again, but I might play with Josh.
What about the Dan?
You
should play as the Dan.
Look, I might play as the Dan, or I might play you again if you play as the Dan, because that was kind of fun.
The Dan was amusing.
Yeah, like even though I lost the last time, that was a fun round.
So I would absolutely play this again. I had a lot of fun playing it. Thematically, I think it's great. I think the play style was very solid, and because of the quick play time and the variety of pre-built options that we have here, I feel like this is a game that Josh and I will regularly be taking out to play when we've got 15 minutes of spare time, because it's a quickie, not a lot of setup involved.
Yeah, that was really nice too.
We don't often run across games that have a 15-minute play time and have a decent depth of strategy to them.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty nice as well. But with that, that's a big thumbs up from me, and a potential try again for Anne.
Yeah.
So thank you all for joining us this evening. We really do appreciate it. I'm going to post that sponsor link in chat one more time. If you want more information about Street Fighter Exceed by Level 99 Games, go check that out. And again, big shout out to Level 99 Games for sponsoring this stream and all of this week's streams.
And thank you guys so much for coming on the stream and joining us tonight and being in chat and hanging out with us and asking all the great questions. Really, really appreciate it.
And remember, for all of you watching, remember to follow us on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and chat with us in our Discord channel, where
sometimes we wear different kinds of martial arts costumes because it makes us feel powerful.
And remember, if you're watching on video on demand too,
bing, bing, boom, hit that subscribe button.
And make sure you're joining us live for all of the cool stuff here at Twist Gaming. But signing off for now, I'm Matt.
I'm Ann.
Have a good one, everyone.
Good night.